So, how do you know if you or a loved one need caregiver help in the home? It can be tough to know when it's time, whether it's due to a recent illness or things are just becoming more difficult to manage. It's hard to know when you need someone to come into the home and help out. But I have 6 important questions to ask that will help you know when assistance is needed. Tara here from Aging Your Way. After working in home healthcare for over 20 years, I have observed that if a person is asking the question, is it time for caregiver help in the home? The answer is usually yes, it's time. Help in the home could come from family members, close friends, a non medical home care agency, or a combination of all three. Some people and their families decide that it's better for loved ones to provide the help, while others feel that it's best to go through an agency. Continue watching this video for a few examples of people who received caregiver help in the home, but in different ways. You may find that one of their situations is similar to yours. I believe that it's important that people do what feels right for them within their personal budget, of course. Remember, the costs of non medical home care can add up quickly. You can find more information on non medical home care and how much it costs in the second video in my series titled Confused About Home Care? You Are Not Alone. I put a link in the description. Receiving help in the home can occur in different ways, so I recommend that you do what makes the most sense for you and your family. But please don't wait until you are in the middle of a health crisis to start talking about options for help in the home. I recommend that you start having these conversations today, even if the help is not quite necessary yet. So let's talk about 2 actual clients I worked with in the past who were both in their 90s and both lived alone. You may know of someone in a similar situation who is struggling to figure out the next step. One gentleman, whom I'll call George, was 98 years old. He lived alone and had a large family who lived nearby. Between his 6 children and 20 plus grandchildren, they created a schedule of family members to go to George's house at least twice a day. When a family member visited George, they spent time with him and helped out around the house for a few hours with whatever was needed. George shared with me that at first he resisted this help from his family because he valued his independence so much. But he found that his family sincerely wanted to help him, so he let them. He added that he enjoyed seeing different family members every day, and for that family, that system worked well. I had another client whom I'll call Mary. She was 92 years old and also lived alone. She had one child, a daughter, who lived about an hour away. Mary had recently experienced some health issues that limited her ability to take care of herself and her home. Mary reluctantly agreed to let her daughter hire a home care agency to come in 4 to 6 hours a day to help Mary with showering safely, light housekeeping, and meal preparation. The agency staff also took Mary grocery shopping and took her to appointments when her daughter was not available. Both Mary and her daughter reported that hiring a home care agency worked well for them. And most importantly, this mother and daughter felt the arrangement allowed them to maintain a positive and healthy relationship with each other. I know that accepting help in the home is tough. So if you or a loved one is resistant to receiving help in the home, here are some important questions to consider. And know that yes answers indicate that caregiver help in the home would be beneficial. Number 1, do you struggle to take care of your basic needs that you used to, such as bathing, dressing, or making meals? Number 2, do you run out of energy when trying to do simple tasks such as washing dishes, especially later in the day? Number 3, do you struggle to do necessary daily activities such as walk to the mailbox? Remember, a yes answer to any of these questions indicates that caregiver help in the home would be beneficial. Number 4, is going to the grocery store or running simple errands exhausting for you? Number 5, do you decline invitations out with family or friends because you're worried it will be too tiring? And the last question that is important to ask is, do you feel like you don't have the energy to take care of basic housekeeping or home maintenance tasks? If you find that you tire quickly with these types of daily activities, please consider accepting help in the home. I also recommend talking with your doctor to determine if medical home healthcare is appropriate for you. A medical home healthcare agency could send a physical or occupational therapist to your home if your physician orders it, and it's difficult for you to leave the home unassisted. In those situations, Medicare and other health insurance companies will cover these services because it has been proven that home health care helps people avoid falls in the home and hospital stays. So are you still resistant to accepting help in the home? I mean, what is the worst that could happen if you or a loved one refuses help in the home when it's needed? Unfortunately, an unplanned hospital stay is one of the more undesirable outcomes. But how can caregiver help in the home keep a person out of the hospital? Well, two of the most common reasons that people over age 65 go to the emergency room are falls and medication issues. Accepting help in the home reduces the likelihood of falling or taking medications incorrectly. I completely understand the reluctance to accept help in the home, but it is so important to consider what could happen if that help is refused. I think it's also important to consider a few benefits of accepting help in the home, such as many people want to help. Letting people help you gives them a sense of purpose. Also, it can be nice to have people to talk to on a regular basis, especially when you live alone. And if you let people help you in your home, you can focus on doing things that you enjoy and worry less about how you will take care of your home and your basic needs. Lastly, I think the biggest benefit of accepting help in the home is that it increases your odds of being able to age in place and avoid a nursing home. And that is always a good thing. To learn more about medical home health care and non medical home care, feel free to watch the video series on the Aging Your Way YouTube channel titled Confused About Home Care? You Are Not Alone. I put a link in the description. And if you would like help with determining if you or a loved one needs home care, feel free to go to agingyourway.net to learn more about our Aging Advisor services under the Services tab. The initial 30-minute virtual consultation is always free. Thank you so much for your time. Feel free to leave a comment below if there are other topics like this that you would like me to address. And don't forget to like and subscribe below as well.